1, 2, 3. Let's do this. Not HT. Submit a 1080p. All right. 안녕하세요. 02 Vec. Hi, welcome. I'm here. I was just reading an article, and I'm here. So if you guys want to say hello, say what's up, go ahead and do so. I was just paying attention to some other stuff that caught my mind. I'm reading an article from CNN, and it says, "Why do I have to take my laptop out of the bag at airport security?" I'm gonna actually write this down. Why do I have to take my laptop out of my bag at airport security? I was just reading an article about that, so I was just curious. I thought I knew, but there are some interesting things that are written about this particular topic. What do you think? Why do you think? I'm gonna ask you guys. Why do you have to take your laptop out of your bag? Why? How are you guys doing, by the way? For those of you guys who are just joining in, we're just talking. So if you guys have anything to say, you guys can go ahead and write it in the chat, and we'll try and speak English most of the time, at least. 최대한 영어를 사용해 보려고 노력을 할 거고요. 만약에 한국말로 하시고 싶으신 분들은 한국말로 하셔도 돼요. 근데 이제 최대한 영어로 한다는 거를 알아두시면 좋을 것 같아요. Thank you. So I haven't eaten yet, guys. So this is going to be like a kind of like a mukbang. I was busy this morning, so I was not able to really have a proper breakfast. So I am very hungry, and I'm going to see if this is caught on camera. That's butter. So we have the baguette, the classic French baguette, and then we have butter on top of the baguette. And guess what this is? Can anybody tell me what this is? Can anybody tell me what this is? I'm pretty sure you guys are like, I know what that is in Korean. 아, 그거 연어잖아, 연어. 연어가 영어로 뭐지? Right. I'm sure you guys know what it is. This will be my lunch today. It's really hot out, so I wanted to have something cold. And smoked salmon is really good. Salmon, yes. Thank you. One post. One post. I love how you said it in Korean, but said it in an English word, and you wrote it in Korean. salmon. 아주 좋아요. So I usually eat salmon with cream cheese, but we didn't have cream cheese. We don't have cream cheese today, so just butter. Oh, you have cheese? You want to come join us?
Sure.
If you want to. Only if you want to.
I'm gonna eat and then I'll come back.
Eat on camera.
Also,
So, why do I have to take my laptop out of my bag at airport security? 공항에서 왜 노트북을 가방에서 빼야 되죠? It looks like a carrot. Kind of does. It's the same color. It's the same color as a carrot. It's the same color as a carrot. Because of the battery, we have to take out the laptop. What's wrong with the battery being inside of the bag? 무지성님, I guess there's a chance that happens to be fire accident because of the battery. Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance that that there could be a fire accident or a fire incident, or there could be a fire because of the battery. I guess there's a chance that a fire could start. Okay. I guess there's a chance. I guess there's a chance that a fire could start because of the battery. Very good, right? Laptop caught the scanner out of order. Yeah, maybe. So laptop can cause the scanner to malfunction. Can cause the scanner to malfunction, right? Something like that, right? I guess there's a chance that a fire could start because of the battery. Laptops can cause the scanner to malfunction. What else, guys? What else? I mean, these are all good answers. I don't really know. I wish there was a TSA agent here. What's a MSDS? One post said, for example, when we send battery via DHL. DHL is like a shipping company, right? It needs MSDS, thus it would be the same reason. I just realized I don't think you can send batteries. I remember when I sent something from Korea to France, they specifically said you can't send electronics. They said you can't send electronics because of the battery. Battery could be an issue for sure. For sure. Battery can be an issue. Material safety data sheet. Oh, wow. Do you know what that is, babe? Miko?
Sorry.
Material safety data sheet. MSDS. Have you heard of that? Okay, so it's not a term that I should know, right?
I think so.
Can you tell me what that is? Can you tell me what that is? One post. What is material safety data sheet? I feel like I should know this. I feel like a lot of people know about this. Yeah. What is material safety data sheet? 무지성님, we met in LA, but I'm working on a video that talks about how we met. So if you can kind of stay tuned for that, that would be awesome. We met in LA. We actually lived together in LA, in Los Angeles, California, in the US. And we lived together in the US for more than a year. But for details, please stay tuned. Stay tuned for details. But we met in LA and got married in LA, actually, or got married in California, I should say, because we were not technically in LA. Okay. So what is material safety data sheet? Can anybody tell me? Cargo has danger code for a number. Okay. Okay, so it's like a sheet. It's like a paper that that talks about is a kind of a document. It's kind of a document that can prove the material is safe so that we can import or export to the other country. Ah, very good. So MSDS, Material Safety Data Sheet, is kind of a document. Is a kind of a document. It's kind of a document that can prove the material is safe for air travel, right? For air travel, safe for air travel. So that, or you can say so that we could import or export it to another country, to other countries. Very good. Awesome. Great. That's great to know. MSDS. That's interesting because if you said a data sheet, I'd be like, okay, a safety data sheet, sure. But you guys kind of abbreviated, you guys shortened it to MSDS, and I'm like, oh, MSDS, it sounds like something important. How was everybody's day? How was everybody's day? Ah, good. I've been just doing nothing. I've been doing nothing. Just stayed in my room. I just stayed in my room. I just stayed in my room because it was a day off. Because it was a day off. You can say, I had a day off today. I had a day off today. Um, I just stayed in my room. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm doing good, I reckon. Yeah, good, good. Um, I hope everybody's doing well. I know Korea is kind of crazy right now with a lot of different social issues. I've been trying to keep up with the news, and it kind of saddens me to hear so many stories that are kind of making the country a little crazy at the moment. If you packed properly, you can send any other cargo you want via DHL. Oh, wait. So does that mean you can send any items? Can you send any items? Can you send a laptop via DHL? Can you send a laptop via DHL? So you went to karaoke today? 02 Vec? Okay, so but you need to do the MSDS. So is MSDS something that the employee does, or is it something that you do? Hmm. Um, is the MSDS is the M do I'll put it this way. Let's make it simpler. Do you, meaning the person who sends the package, do you fill out the MSDS, or does the DHL, does the employee fill out the MSDS? Who fills it out? Who signs it? Yes, it would be hard, but you can send it like a gas tank. Oh, interesting. Hmm. The biggest issue I think right now, well, the recent one that I've been looking at is the teachers' strike or the teachers' protests, um, and also the violence that's been kind of um, the violence that's been. I don't want to use a lot of words that are kind of too difficult or a little like vague here, but up, stirring up the country. The violence. You hear a lot of these violent acts that um, that people commit, and it's not really fun to see. And Korea's not been like that for a while. I don't think. I have a question for you guys. Do you think cops, police officers, should be able to shoot a live round? A live round means a real bullet. Do you think police officers should be able to shoot a live round if the criminal is threatening them? I want to know, what are your guys' opinions? Do you think police officers should be able to shoot a live round? Not a fake one, not a rubber bullet, but a live round. Live round is like a real bullet, right? And if the criminal, of course, if the criminal is threatening them with a weapon. Interesting. The manufacturer asks for filling out so who fills it out? Organizations fill out the MSDS. Okay. Organizations fill out the MSDS. I would love to be able to send other stuff than, like clothes. Because I know there's a lot of restrictions. So Zero to Vec says, I think a taser gun would be sufficient. Oh, that's good. That's good. Taser gun. Do you think taser guns are enough? Do you think it's enough to hold down a criminal? Do you think taser guns are enough? Taser guns are enough to hold down criminal. Okay. So Zero to Vec says yes, it's enough to hold it down, to hold him or her down. Yangbanggunim says, I don't think so. It's not enough. Okay. Mm. Familiar company which you know might be Castrol. Castorl. Fuel company has them always. Okay. I've never heard of Castor. I know it's not easy, right? It is difficult for me to type in English rather than speaking. I know it's difficult, but I think typing or writing in this case is just as important. Okay, writing is just as important. All right. I keep telling this to my students, but writing is very important. And I think it's something that if you guys do so frequently, if you do it frequently, you will get better. Castrol emission. Okay. So does anybody think, for those of you guys that are joining now, do you think police officers should be able to shoot a live round if the criminal is threatening them? 무지성님 says, depending on the situation, they should be allowed to use guns to end the case. You want to come say hi?
Should I?
If you want
You
to.
sound like you're in the middle of a good conversation.
No. I think people will gonna start clicking that thumbs up button and watch this number grow up to like 25 or something. Can you answer that?
A live round meaning an actual bullet that can kill people, as opposed to like a rubber bullet or no bullet in a gun. Yeah, a live round meaning like chambered round, you can shoot someone and kill them. Or not kill them, but potentially. My eye looks so bad.
Is it?
Kind of.
Not
Maybe
really.
it's just me.
Not really. So we have Aiden joining us today. Can you answer this question? Do you think police officers should be able to shoot a live round if the criminal is threatening them?
I think threatening them with a weapon physically, I think they should have a weapon. I don't know. There should be a lot of rules on when they can use it, of course. But if they don't have the ability to actually enforce anything, then what's the point? I mean, obviously, they shouldn't be able to use it if... Oh, still couldn't get the meaning of it.
It means a real bullet. Real bullet.
It just means a real... Google it. Sure. Yeah. I live in...
실탄이고요. 실탄이라는 얘기를 하고 라는 뜻이고 라이브 라운드라 그러면은 사실 정말 날아가고 있는 실탄이라고 또 볼 수 있어요. 그러니까 실탄이라고 보면 되고 실탄 real bullet. 그리고 live round라 그러면 it's a live round 그러면은 정말 지금 날아가고 있는 정말 그러한 실제로 있는 탄이라는 거예요, right?
Actually, live might mean...
It might be something different. You're right.
It might mean it has to be chambered, like in chambered, not just...
Oh yeah?
I'm not sure.
But it is a real bullet though, right?
No, it does mean a real bullet. It's what it means. It means a bullet that has like gunpowder.
I was
An
right.
actual thing has to the speed of the shot the round has to be over 500 something per second or whatever.
Yeah, real bullet. 실탄. Okay.
Oh, my eye. I can't look at myself.
So 다래끼. 다래끼가 영어로 뭘까요? What is 다래끼 in English? Aiden has 다래끼. You want to wear your sunglasses?
Should I? Just in my eye.
Is it reflected or can you still see the? Actually, no. That's good. That's good. You just see the light there.
All right, guys.
Tareiki is a sty, something that I can maybe just tell you guys as it's called a sty, right? Oh, spelling's on. There you go, sty.
Is it
right.
an E?
Yep, it's STYE.
Actually, this seems weird. I'm not gonna do that.
No, do it. I feel like people are gonna. Yep, it's STYE.
Actually, this seems weird. I'm not gonna do that.
No, do it. I feel like people are gonna.
People are
People are like,
like, what is that?
And then if some people say, "Hey, what's up? Like, why are you doing that?" You have a reason, right? It gives people to.
So that you guys don't have to see my squinting as if I'm blinking at you or winking.
Yeah. Oh, is there no E? Maybe it's just STY. Maybe that was my bad.
I have not had the need to spell sty. Sty. No, it has an E.
Yeah, there is an E. Both are correct? Okay. Yeah. I was in the spelling bee, so be careful.
When were you
in 5th grade? I was in the
Exactly,
spelling bee, all right? And I got up there. I didn't compete. I couldn't compete because I got dropped out. But again, 5th grade, all right? I spoke no English in 4th grade. In 5th grade, I was in the spelling bee, and I got up to like, I was in the top of my class.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so I was gonna say something. I was gonna ask you. So do you? Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Do you think? I was gonna say something. I was gonna ask you. So do you? Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Do you think? Oh, yeah, I'll ask you this. Do you think taser guns? Because somebody said they should use taser guns. Do you think taser guns are enough to hold down a criminal?
Yes and no. If you use it well, then yeah. But taser guns have a shorter range, so it really depends on the situation. A lot of times it would be better because then if you hit them and all of that. But if they're wearing, I'm not 100% sure how it works, but I'm pretty sure if you like are wearing certain amount of clothing and it doesn't go, like it doesn't hit correctly, or if you're too far, then they can't do anything about it. Because I know there is a range; they're attached to the gun. So
I'm gonna turn this off because for some reason the internet's bad. So I'm gonna just make sure. All right. Hopefully, I'm sorry. The internet's bad. I think it should be back on because looks like a movie star.
It's the glasses, guys.
Talking about me, right? Hopefully it gets better. Wanna try?
John Kim. Sure.
New Hampshire. Hey,
Whoa.
how's it going? Where is New Hampshire?
What time is it in New Hampshire? Is it morning?
What time is it?
Is it morning?
Should be morning. Where is New You want to say that out loud?
No, I don't want to say that out loud.
Aiden said, "Where is New Hampshire?"
I know where it is.
No, you're looking at it
Yeah,
right
I do.
now.
Okay, I see.
It's in the East Coast. You didn't know that? I thought it was south.
I did know it was on the east. I didn't know there was. Actually, I should know that because that's like one of the original, like the landing places for.
Yeah, near Boston, right? Near Massachusetts.
Kind of. 7:34 a.m.
Oh wow! Okay.
Nice and early.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good. Well, thank you for coming in. I mean, I'm really honored to hear people from like Australia and like other continents besides Korea and Japan. I know some of you guys are in Japan and China, but like Asia, people who are outside of Asia are always like, I feel really honored to have people from
No, we
other
don't
places.
We don't have people from France most of the time.
Well, we have people from Europe though. We have people from.
That's true. That's true. Or
the UK
we,
the other
you, mostly.
day. So KHU 8703. I'm guessing you're Korean. Do you think, and I don't know if you've been in Korea recently, but do you think um, police officers should be able to shoot a live round if the criminal is threatening them?
Basically with like a weapon, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Long and short vowel.
I think. Oh, I was talking about Korea. KHU 8703. I think I was talking about Korea.
Is there coffee in here still?
Sorry. It's my second cup of coffee. Are there any tips? Are there any tips to learn? Oh, shoot, I keep doing that. I'm sorry. It's not that bad though, right? I mean,
No,
do you have
it's
any?
not that bad, but just
It's not
'cause
gonna
I
know.
don't want it to get worse. Anyway.
Okay. Well, do you want to answer that one post? Are there any tips to learn long and short vowels? I want to learn phonics. Structurally, I think is what he's saying. Structurally, or
Tips on learning. That's hard for me to answer because I never
learned it
that's
as a.
yeah, that's a very like it's very intuitive for me, so it's actually hard for me to answer that. But I guess I don't know, you try and answer, or like what do you study when you're doing that? Like
It's a very difficult question because when it comes to phonics, you can learn the phonics and you can say, oh, the letter I, the alphabet I sounds like this. It has these sounds. But you can't memorize that, and you can't, even if you do memorize it, you can't use the rules for every situation and every particular words. So there will always be an exception when it comes to learning phonics and memorizing it and kind of trying to really have it down. There's always going to be an exception. Same with grammar. So I think it's important to know, okay? It's important to know what kind of sounds it can make, but you shouldn't try to memorize it, okay?
also just for pronunciation in general with English, I think that sometimes, especially American English, the way you use your mouth tends to be very different than a lot of like French people kind of struggle with this. I have a Korean professor who's been speaking English for 15-20 years, teaching in English. And she's very fluent. Her vocabulary is probably better than mine. However, she still has an accent. She speaks quickly, but with a Korean accent. So I think it's very like round, big. We have a lot of sounds that if your mouth isn't used to making them, it can feel like a lot of work because like the R's kind of come in really big, or like rounded sounds that end weirdly. So I think the long and short vowels, you can learn them and you'll slowly get used to them. But I think part of the hard part is actually putting the vowel together with the consonants can be tricky, like just physically for people's mouths to do if they didn't grow up speaking. Even British English to American English.
British?
Please don't. Yeah, so.
How tall are you?
How tall? Asking me? How tall do you think I am?
How tall do you think she is? How tall do you think she is?
I might have been asking you. I don't know.
Yeah, who are you asking to? Activities.
Maybe both.
There is no royal road. There is no royal road. Thanks for your kind answer. You're welcome. Oh, go ahead. Are you gonna say something?
I was gonna say, like, say that again. Say what you just said. There's no royal road.
There is no royal road.
You sometimes he like even still, even with him, he sounds most like 99% of the time it's like American accent. You can't tell that English was his second language. But even there, I think because of the way he learned it, that royal road, it sounds a little bit off.
Yeah.
You know, even still. So I think, you know, and I think most people wouldn't see that, wouldn't hear that and be like, oh, he didn't learn English as his first language.
Right.
They might think something else because the rest of his English pronunciation is, you know, supernatural. But knowing it, I can hear it occasionally. So like, even someone who, you know, I think it's just how your mouth is, you know, how you developed it.
Hey babe, can you do me a favor?
What?
Could you go put this outside?
This?
Just on that chair, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, she knows centimeters. Actually, do you know centimeters? Do you go by centimeters?
I mean, I can figure it out.
172. 172 is like 5'8", 5'9", 5'8".
Wow, that's like my sister.
No, I'm sorry, 5'7". No, your sister's 5'10".
You think?
Yeah, come on.
Is she?
She's like taller than your
taller
dad.
than
She's just
you.
taller than, yeah.
That's true.
189.
So like model height. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
that's
Not quite, not quite.
에이드는 167 정도 돼요. She's about 167.
5'6" US in
Is that what
feet.
you are? 5'6"?
5'6".
I don't know if that's 167.
Let me look it up for you all.
About 167. That's so funny because Koreans are like, "What's your height? What is your height to the centimeters?"
I know.
저는 78이고요.
167.
Yeah. I'm
167.
178. I wish I was 189. Yikes. Every spaceship is built by feet. Interesting. Did you know that?
I did not. I wonder why. That's very interesting. Seems like a bad idea for math, but it's fine.
Going back to that situation about shooting guns. Somebody, I want to read some people. Says, currently in South Korea, it is a significant issue that is very difficult to legally establish.
Self-defense, right?
No, can you say that? It wouldn't be. But currently in South Korea, it is a significant issue.
The issue is that
The self-defense is a significant self-defense issue.
You could say this.
Yeah.
It's just you could say how you said it. It's
Yeah.
just not what you would expect to hear.
That is very difficult to legally establish.
The issue is that it is very difficult to legally establish self-defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've been told, I didn't know this. I mean, in the US, your police are supposed to always have a body camera on. Sometimes it doesn't happen and that's a problem, but you're supposed to always have a body cam, which means that they should always be able to see what happened, who did what, you know, those types of things. I think that makes a really big difference because if you can see what happened and there are rules for when and when you can't use a gun, then you should know whose fault it is. I mean, obviously it doesn't always work out perfectly, but nothing does. So it's like just what's the best you can do.
Do Korean police officers wear body cams?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was wondering.
And Yangbanggu says yes all the time.
Well, then in that case, I think they should be able to have. I'm not sure if it's mandatory. I think it needs to be mandatory. I think it has to be on all the time when they're on duty. And I think that they should have real guns, but there should be very strict rules as to what signifies a time when they need to use them. That's personally what I think, because yeah. But there might be other arguments to combat that. I just am unaware of.
My name is Kung. Yep, my Korean name is. Also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. I see some of you guys already did. If you like Aiden's sunglasses, press the thumbs up. Don't tell them where you got it.
Or if you like me in the sunglasses.
Yeah, I think, because you talked about the body cam, and the reason why it really bothers me, stuff about Korea and the violence, it bothers me in Korea right now because in the US and in France, police officers are scary.
France especially, oh my god.
Police officers are scary. They are intimidating.
In France, they're hardcore.
They are very, very scary. They're scary to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're all like,
yeah,
with the sunglasses.
And and it's not always about looking scary. That's the most important thing. It's not always about looking scary, right? But you know that you don't want to mess with them. It's not about looking scary. It's not. You don't want to look scary. That's not always a good thing. But you want to give the impression that there will be consequences if you decide to mess with them. I think you, as in police officers, you want to give the impression that there can be consequences if people want to mess with them.
So you're saying they have to buy it themselves. It's not provided as part of like the uniform, which I think I would say it should be a mandatory thing. As part of the uniform.
Should give the impression that there can be consequences if people want to mess with them.
I'm surprised nobody asked what this is.
They don't want to know. Wait, they don't provide. They don't want to know. Wait, they don't provide what? The cameras? The problem is that police officers should buy what? The cameras with their own money. Oh, I didn't know that. That sucks.
Yeah, which is why probably. So it's not a mandatory thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a choice, and I think it should be part of the uniform.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about looking scary, but it's about the fact that, let's say a criminal decides to kind of attack people, and he, decides to not give up and keep committing crimes, even if he sees police officers. And that's what's happening in Korea because people aren't scared of police officers, right? People aren't scared of police officers. So I think that's the main problem and it's interesting because in the US, the problem is actually quite the opposite,
Right. But, it's very different depending on, the political climate and Korea is a much smaller country by size compared to the US, and the US has the individual states that have different laws depending on the state. So it's just a different situation, and you have to handle it, depending on the country's culture and the country's laws that are already in place and all of that. So,
can cops do an unexpected inspection without reason?
You mean just like pull you over on the side of the road for no reason? No, they can't do that. They have to have a reason. Sometimes they make it up, not gonna lie, but they're not supposed to do that. But the reason can be very small. If they see you driving without a seatbelt, because that's illegal, they can pull you over and search or do something like that. If you have a broken tail light on your car, like one of the lights doesn't work, they can pull you over. If you're speeding, they can pull you over. But they can't just randomly pull you over if you have, yeah. So if they do, you can ask them. If you don't know why, they're supposed to tell you why they pulled you over. And if they don't have a good reason, also you are allowed to film. So sometimes they argue against that, but if they pull you over and you don't agree with what's going on, you're allowed to film yourself. So,
right.
Yeah, there is of course abuse of power. It's sort of it's like two evils, right? Not enough power to prevent criminals, or too much power and some of the people are the criminals. But then on the other hand, it's like you don't have as many corrupt policemen, But on the other side, you're actually getting more of the criminals. So there's both good and bad on each side, I think.
Yep.
Personally, is what
Abuse of power, lack of power.
Right. Not enough power, too much power. Too much power means they can fight when there is a really bad thing going on, but also means that there might be some corruption going on. Although, I mean, there's probably corruption.
Yeah.
Have you seen what's going on in California?
You know what's going on?
They changed with the looting in stores and stuff, because they changed the law very recently. There's been stuff going on where basically it used to be a felony if you stole anything over like $400 something, and now they changed it to like 900 and something. So people are like breaking into stores and stealing because it's not a felony.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
it's crazy.
They're like, okay, it's not a felony to steal $900, still $899.
Exactly.
I'll steal $890.
Yeah. So a lot of like luxury stores are getting broken into, and people are just doing it.
No, also I saw the video about this guy just robbing a 7-Eleven, and he brings a cart and just starts stashing stuff inside the cart and just walks away with it.
It's crazy. People are crazy.
Well, a lot of craziness going on in the world.
Hey, I have not heard of any protests going on in France, though. Last year, it was like protest.
Well, that happened. Actually, no, there were big protests when we were in Mexico.
Oh, true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. You're right. We missed it.
We missed it. Thankfully, we weren't there because it was actually this part of the city too. Yeah. So yeah. There's some deep discussions, and I know some of you guys have opinions that that might differ from ours, and I think politics are kind of hard to talk about. So anyway, because I wanted to talk a little bit about the laptop.
The laptop?
Yeah, why do I have to take out my laptop out of my bag at airport security?
Oh.
There's this article I was reading, CNN.
What do they say?
So it says one of the reasons why you have to take it out is that it sometimes blocks other objects. So it's not anything about the laptop itself.
Makes
it
sense.
Blocks other objects that are in the bag, which I thought, it was like they need to see the laptop more carefully and, separately. But yes, that's true. But the laptop will block other objects in the bag, which is interesting.
Sense.
But I think I got some other. Yeah. California has changed the law. Is that California? Or is that some other country?
I think it's California. Yeah. Let me look it up actually.
Yeah. It's a big deal right now. There's a lot of stuff that is so it is not a felony, then what kind of punishment do you get? Yeah, what kind of punishment do you get? Yeah. I think what it is it's not
Prop 47. Okay, Prop 47, which is the name of what they changed. Increased the dollar amount by which theft can be prosecuted as a felony from $400 to $950 to adjust for inflation and cost of living. Okay. So what is a felony versus, I want to give you the official answer.
Felony charge, maybe?
Versus a misdemeanor, which would be anything underneath the felony. A felony is typically defined as a crime punishable by a term of imprisonment of 1 year or more. Misdemeanors are often defined as offenses punishable only by fines or by short terms. So basically, a felony means you can be put in prison for however long the judge deems it necessary. Misdemeanor, which is underneath a felony, is something that you might be detained for a few days in a local jail, and then you have to pay a fine, but you don't actually go to prison. And it's not as big of a mark on your record. So like if you commit a misdemeanor, it might not prevent you from getting every job. Like it might not be as big of a deal. Whereas if you commit a felony and you have a felony and you have to report it on your records, or you also have to go to prison, things like that. So that's why.
I hope that answers the question.
Yes. A misdemeanor is the other option.
Felony, so it'd be under. That's so stupid. Under $950 or something like that, right?
Theft.
Is called misdemeanor.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Oh, I spelled that wrong.
Misdemeanor?
No, it's miss. Yeah, I spelled it right.
O-U-R?
N-O-U-R, but that's British English. Sounds like it would be British English, but okay. And then if it's over $950, it would be considered a felony.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, misdemeanor is still bad. They can still fine you. They can still put you in prison, but for a short time, and
Not
they'll
prison.
fine you.
Right.
It said less than a year.
It said less than a year?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it said a local jail, not a prison. There's a difference.
There is a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But you would probably still go to court and everything.
Probably, but they'll just be talking about how much you have to pay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think this is tough though, because in the U.S. there's a lot of crimes. There's a lot of petty crimes, and also pretty harsh crimes as well, and a lot of like shoplifts, or even like dine and dash, because I worked at a restaurant and there's a lot of dine and dash situations, and those just go by unreported. Because the cops aren't going to do anything. If they're like, oh, he ate $30 worth of food and just ditched, why would I spend my my shift, why would the two of us spend 3-4 hours trying to catch this dude that's worth $30?
Yeah, most of the time
that's the problem, is that those are called petty crimes, and petty crimes are just underlooked. Right.
But I mean, on the other hand, you can't go after everyone. There's just not enough manpower.
Yep. But anyways,
the world looks so dark.
All right, I think we're going to end it right here. I think everybody's kind of done. If you guys have questions, 여러분들 한국말로 질문 있으면 한국말 질문 한글로 한번 받고, 한국어로 질문 한 몇 개만 받고 끝낼게요. 만약에 한국말로 질문하실 거 있으시면 질문하시고요. 오늘 여기까지 하겠습니다. Thanks for joining in, guys. Thanks for joining in. We had a couple of people that I recognized from last time. 저번 시간에 뵀던 분들 좀 계셨네요, 그죠? Zero to Vec 예전부터 계속 항상 함께 해주셨고, 그 다음에 새로 오신 분들도 좀 있었고, Activities 무지성님도 저번에 계셨었죠, 그죠? 양방구님도 그렇고. We had a couple new people joining in as well. I hope they come back. If you guys are new to the channel, I hope you guys come back. We do live meetings every week.
We as in usually him, but
mostly me. Sometimes you. Hopefully next week as well. 일주일에 한 번씩은 라이브를 하려고 하고요. 여러분들이 최대한 영어를 사용할 수 있는 기회를 만들어 드리려고 하고 있어요. 그래서 영어를 사용을 해야지만 정말 늘고, 그리고 사용을 할 수 있는 그런 기회들을 사실상 일상생활 우리 한국에서 하다 보면은 만들기가 어렵잖아요. 그래서 그러한 그런 기회를 만들어 드리려고 하는 거고, 하루 전날 항상 제가 말씀을 드려요. 이 시간대 한다고 제가 말씀드리니까 알림 켜놓으시면은 그거를 확인하실 수 있을 겁니다. Thanks for joining in, guys. We will call it a night. We will call it a night here.
Or a day.
Well, I'm in Korea time right now, so
okay,
we'll call it a night because everybody's trying to go to bed, I think. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. While I take a shower.
Awesome,
oh, that's
nice.
Pretty cool. Okay. So you hear like my voice when you're in the shower. That's interesting. Okay. I hope that's not creepy to you. All right. Great. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining in. 감사합니다, 여러분. 다음 주에 뵐게요.